Welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest update. In this report, we will talk about $1 million connected to the country oil export and question about a private digital company involved in the payment system. Second, we'll talk about a tragic incident in Rowing administrative area. This is just an update where many innocent people lost their life. We will talk about these two important updates before we proceed. If you are new to Changfied YouTube channel, please, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's take a look at first report. Investigation, private platform linked to oil export fees. South Sudan depend heavily on oil. In fact, oil is the country's biggest source of income. But a new investigation has raised serious question about how some of this money is being handled. According to report, a private digital payment system is now involved in processing fees for crude oil export. This system is known as Capital Pay. It is operated by a company called Trustworthy Capital. Let's look at how the system works. Before a tanker can load South Sudan crude oil and ship it to international buyers, the company buying the oil must first receive a permit. This permit is called the Electronic Crude Oil Accreditation Permit, or simply ECOAP. The system was created by the Ministry of Petroleum of South Sudan after approval from the government. This thing called accreditation permit. Officials say the system is designed to modernize the oil sector and make process digital, but there is a cost. Companies must pay a fee before the oil shipment can leave Port Sudan. If the permit is not paid for approved, the oil shipment cannot legally leave the port. The fee is calculated as 0.03% of the value of each oil shipment. Now that may sound small. It may sound small when you are talking about oil shipment worth tens of millions of dollars. The fee quickly become very large. For example, one shipment of 600,000 barrels of oil priced at around $81 per barrel. It can generate a permit fee of over $146,000. Document review during the investigation show that some companies pay even more. One payment recorded in September 2023 show a company paying more than $166,000 for a single shipment. And remember, South Sudan exports tens of millions of barrels of oil every year. Experts say the system could generate several $1 million annually. So let's look at how payments are made. The payments are processed through the ministry online system, but the technical payment interface is handled by Capital Pay, the digital platform operated by Trustworthy Capital. When companies make payment, the receipt show the Capital Pay logo. Invoices must be paid within 48 hours after companies receive official letter confirming their oil cargo. This means international trader must move quickly to avoid delays. And let's look at the question about ownership. One of the biggest concerns raised in the investigation is about who owns the company behind the payment platform. Reports suggest that Trustworthy Capital may have linked to powerful political families in South Sudan. Investigators say the company is believed to have connection to President Salva Kiir Mayardit, the president of South Sudan. Some reports say they say that Abdul Salva Kiir Mayardit, one of the president's daughter, may have connection to the company. However, the exact detail of the ownership structure are still debated. Let's look at the company founder. Documents say that Crawford Capital was formed by two individuals. One of them is Gareng Mayom Koch Malek. The other is Ray Majok Gwandong. Reports say these individuals hold large share in the company. Observers say Bozeman have business connection with people who have a strong political influence in the country. This has raised concern about transparency. Let's look at the other business activity. The company has also been involved in other government-related systems. For example, it previously collected fees from fuel truck entering South Sudan from Kenya. Truck drivers were charged 3 cents per liter of fuel. However, that fee system was suspended in October 2024 after complaint from businesses and humanitarian organizations. Many groups say the extra fees were increasing the cost of fuel and goods in the country. Many major oil companies operating in South Sudan must follow the ECOAP. These include international and state-owned companies such as China National Petroleum Corporation, Petronas, ONGC, Videsh, and Sinopec. South Sudan National Oil Company, NAL Petroleum Corporation, is also involved. Major international trading companies, including Vitol, have also received permit under the system. Let's look at the expansion of the program. To support the system, the government opened office in Port Sudan and Khartoum. Officials working with the petroleum minister and the information technology sector were assigned to manage the project. The goal was to make the oil export process more digital and organized. Let's look at the transparency concern. However, critics say there are still many unanswered questions. For example, how much money are the system collected so far? How much of the fee goes to the government? How much goes to the private company operating the payment system? Another important question is whether the contract was awarded through a competitive bidding process as required by South Sudan procurement law. So far, the petroleum minister has not publicly released this detail. Because of this, some experts worry that public money could be moving through private system without full transparency. Let's look at the government response. At the time of the investigation, officials from the Ministry of Petroleum had not publicly commented on the issue. Observers say greater transparency could help increase public trust in how the country manages its most important resources, oil. Let's move on to our second topic story. This is the sad one. It is just an update. Now we turn to our second story. Deadly attack in Ruweng administrative area. A tragic attack has shocked communities in northern South Sudan a few days ago. The violence took place in Ruweng administrative area, specifically in Abyei County. Local officials say the death toll has now reached 178 people. What happened was the attack happened on Sunday when army youths reportedly entered the area and began attacking civilians. Authorities say the attackers were suspected to have come from Mayom County in Unity State. The violence left many people dead and others seriously injured. Officials say the victims include women, children, elderly people, and the HSPDF forces that were fighting with this youth. This has made the tragedy even more painful for the community. Some of the injured were taken to hospital for treatment. One of the main medical centers helping victims is operated by Medicine Sans Frontier, also known as Doctor Without Border. Medical team have been working around the clock to treat survival. At least 73 injured patients were reported to still be receiving treatment after the attack. Local authorities say they are still recovering bodies from the area. Some people are also still missing. Community members fear that the number of victims could increase if more bodies are found. Let's look at the international reaction. The attack has caused a strong reaction from the international community. Several governments and organizations have condemned the violence. Among them are European Union, Embassy of the United States in South Sudan, Embassy of the United Kingdom in South Sudan, Embassy of Canada in South Sudan, a Royal Norwegian Embassy in South Sudan. In a joint statement, these diplomatic missions described the incident as a brutal attack. They call on South Sudan leaders to work together to restore peace and hold those responsible accountable. Let's look at the peace monitoring body, what they said. The reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission, which oversees the country peace agreement, also spoke out. The organization described the attack as horrific. They also say that some local government officials and law enforcement officers were among the victims. The United Nations Interim Security Forces for Abyei, also known as UNISFA, quickly responded after the attack. Peacekeepers increased their patrol in nearby areas. Their main goal was to protect civilians and prevent further violence. Many families fled their home and moved toward Abyei area seeking safety. A UNISFA medical team are also helping the wounded. The mission Ghana Level 2 hospital treated several civilians injured in the attack. Doctors performed emergency surgeries to save lives. The UN mission is also working together with a United Nations mission in South Sudan to support local authorities. Aid organizations warned that the violence could create a new humanitarian problem. Hundreds of displaced people now need shelter, food, medical care, and clean water. More civilians are continuing to flee the area because they fear more violence could happen again. Civil society leaders say the attack is a national tragedy. Reports say more than 170 victims were buried in a mass grave. Human rights advocates say the government must ensure justice for the victim. They warn that if crimes like this go unpunished, violence may continue. The government has promised to investigate the attack. However, at the time of reporting, no suspect had been arrested. Observers say this latest violence could threaten the fragile peace process in South Sudan unless first by President Dr. Machar is released. Many people now calling for stronger security measures to protect communities. The story we covered today show two different but very important challenges facing South Sudan right now. And one is about transparency and management of oil revenue, the country's most valuable resources. The other is about security and protection of civilians in communities affected by violence. Both issues have a direct impact on the future of the nation. And many people are calling for SSPDF to move aside or not to be together with the civilian in case the attack happen again. This is what I want to share with you. Thank you for watching. If you are new to Changfied YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe. Bye-bye.